Hi everyone, Deborna MLP here. It's great you can join me because I've got a story to tell all about Twilight's kingdom. One day, the main Six and Spike were returning to the Crystal Empire. Twilight was very excited because her friends are coming over to her amazing kingdom, but she doesn't think it's going to be that much. All she really does is that she only has to smile and wave. Rarity says to Twilight that she can smile and wave just like a princess. Applejack was asking Twilight how is it so different for being a princess. And then Twilight uncentered herself and started feeling sad, and her friends are feeling very worried. Fluttershy wondered what was wrong with Twilight. And then Pinkie stretched Twilight's face. Twilight was a little unsure. She was questioning her friends about her role of being a princess. And then her friends helped cheer her up. And then Twilight was feeling a little better. And then they continued walking through the Crystal Empire. At the Crystal Empire, the Duke and Duchess bowed down to the three princesses. And Twilight was wearing her little crown and started waving at the crowd at the balcony. When Cadence told Twilight that the visit is already over, and then Twilight was feeling disappointed, and Princess Luna was asking Twilight what's wrong. She told each of them that Princess Luna raises the moon, Princess Celestia raises the sun, Princess Cadence protects the Crystal Empire, and all Twilight does is to smile and wave, just like a princess. And then she walked away from the princesses. She'll never find out what her role is meant to be. She went outside the balcony and started singing so sadly. She wasn't meant to be so ungrateful and for all the things that she had learned. So as she continued singing, she walked on the balcony edge. And just then, the princesses came up to see if Twilight is okay. And then Twilight sung to them that she wanted to have a purpose, want to do all that she can, and she wanted to have a contribution. And then the princesses sung together to make Twilight feel better. They know that her time will be coming soon. As they continued singing, they flew up into the sky and sung, "You'll play your part." When they were up in the sky, they were hovering over Twilight. Twilight watched as the princesses were flying in the sky, hovering over her. And then Princess Celestia put her hoof under Twilight's chin and told her not to worry because her time will be coming soon, and sung that you're a princess, you will play your part. And Celestia gave her a big hug, and Twilight was feeling a little better again. As the music stopped, Celestia told that her time will come very soon, and Twilight was very proud. Once the princesses have left, Twilight was looking up at the moon in the sky. And then the next day, Twilight and her friends met Discord, and Discord was trying to help them. He was reading a book about the elements of harmony and how they could help to save the kingdom. So Twilight was reading the books of Discord's bookmarks. As she continued reading, her friends were listening very carefully and tried to figure out a plan to save the kingdom. But just then, Boneless the chicken was gonna bump into the chest locks, and then Twilight and her friends and Spike were in big surprise. Something was starting to happen. Suddenly, the objects of the elements of harmony were in the air and started to glow in front of the elements of harmony tree. And then Lord Tirek came. He was on the stage and he was gonna do something really evil. He let out a huge burst of fire through the audience, and all the ponies were in trouble. So Tirek felt very proud. He grew stronger and stronger and was ready to rule over Twilight's kingdom. Meanwhile, back at the castle, Twilight was powering up, and she flew into the air and started glowing. Celestia, Luna, and Cadence were looking at Twilight. They were trying to see if she's okay. As Twilight was continuing to glow, her eyes were brimming with magic. At night, at the tree house, Spike was sleeping and Twilight was thinking of how she could save her kingdom. She walked very slowly not to wake up Spike. And just then, Twilight was looking at her window. She can see that the moon is up. So, she tried her best to raise the sun up. So, she was levitating and she tried to raise the sun. And finally, the moon was down and the sun was back up in the sky again. Later on, Twilight was starting to run somewhere and Spike was following her, but Spike was wondering what is the problem. And then Twilight boosted into the sky. She was having trouble with the magic. She was flying so fast. When her friends came up to Lord Tirek, Tirek was getting very angry because he's gonna rule over the kingdom. And then Twilight got up in anger. She spread her wings and wanted to show him. So her friends were at the chest and they were starting to glow. And they got into rainbow power to stop Lord Tirek. Lord Tirek was very surprised. He pointed at them and told Twilight that she doesn't have any magic. But then Twilight told Lord Tirek that he was wrong and she wanted to show him the most important magic of all, the magic of friendship. So they let out a huge burst of the rainbow and started defeating Lord Tirek. Lord Tirek had less power. He shrunk and shrunk, and soon he was locked up in a cage. The main six had finally defeated him. A few days later, all the ponies came over to the Castle of Friendship. And then Twilight opened the front doors and she started singing. She let the other ponies come inside the castle. And then her friends came together. They put their hooves in the center and started glowing to let out a rainbow. And then the rainbow bursted. And then they sung, "Let the rainbow remind you." The rainbow was spreading all over the castle and through Equestria, and all the ponies were looking at it. They thought the rainbow was looking so beautiful. It spread and spread all over the place, and they sung, "Let the rainbow remind you," Together we will always shine, and forever this will be our time. And even Discord was so happy to see the rainbow. And then Discord gave Celestia a bouquet of beautiful flowers, and he winked at her. And then Twilight's friends came together as a group, and even Spike too, and got their group photo taken for Twilight's kingdom.